Hi everyone, it's Alyssa. Wanted to take an opportunity to discuss the possibility, the hope that one day we live in a world without welfare, where once again people can migrate to this country and work and thrive freely without being dependent on their government for everything that they need. What a notion, right? What if welfare ended to exist, ceased to exist tomorrow? What would happen? Reality, right? Reality is that governments no longer would control people. People would be able to migrate without the conversation at the kitchen table being that we have all these people on welfare while I'm working myself to death and paying for them to exist. While they're riding around in cars, paying for everything with EBT cards. What if that just went away and everybody worked for what they had? And the only ones that received welfare benefits in any form are those that truly needed it. So the elderly, children, disabled. If you're an able-bodied individual, meaning you can come and migrate here, get yourself a worker's permit, you too can find your way on a path to living a free and independent life. With hard work, it can be done. I'm a first-generation American on one side. I'm an eighth-generation American on the other. Neither side ever took welfare. All of my family came here and worked their asses off to make a living and brought more family here and made it without welfare. Times were different, granted, of course, but we depended on, my family, I should say, depended on each other for support. Everybody worked and everybody contributed. First generations, right? Kids, they took weekend jobs mowing lawns. They did work for other people. They did paper routes. They did all these things, right? People depended on their churches. People depended on their neighbors for help. People depended on each other for support. And communities were communities. So if welfare went away, would that return? It's a strong possibility that it would. If the $31 billion that the state of California spends on welfare benefits, not including the $3 to $6 billion that they just tacked on they had to guess it was between 3 and 6 billion, was tacked on for the Medi-Cal for all. So if we just kind of left the Medi-Cal for all, that's $3 to $6 billion, right? So if we left that and only took care of those that needed it, which are the elderly, really took care of them. Disabled, which I fight for every day. I'm a patient advocate. Children, making sure that they get what they need. Where would that $31 billion be able to be applied other than keeping them in a cycle of perpetual lock-in welfare for generations? Because it cycles for most of them. So according to DSS, DHS, CDC, 59% of the users of welfare are not legally here. 39% of their counterparts, U.S.-born citizens, are welfare recipients. Majority of those, interesting enough, are white. I found that extremely interesting. Less and less of Hispanics and blacks. So, In any case, if we were able to pull out all of the undocumented individuals that are here and those to come and offer them a work permit, bring them out from behind closed doors to the front table, tell them, here's your work permit. And this state alone is generating $280 billion in revenue. Can you imagine highest state income, personal income tax? What that would draw in revenue if everybody was working. We have the work here because we know people are working under the table. So if that was stopped and everybody had to work and pay their fair share, there would be more benefits to create temporary housing, job training programs, true equality in schools and education, K through 12. We're already doing the free community college here. What more could we be doing with that money to incentivize a better state of the Union of California? Just California. If this became a model for the United States, it would be amazing. So what did we create by creating welfare programs? People's dependency on government social services. But does it really need to exist? That money, maybe we bring the taxes down so we don't have to take so much in government spending. Maybe we don't need. Maybe it's a good thing we have it. There's jobs. But couldn't we make sure that we just keep things running better? Infrastructure, roads with no potholes, those are jobs, right? We don't need 10 people running a government office. We need people out there filling potholes. We need people out there picking up trash. Give jobs to make sure our parks are clean and safe for our kids. I can go on. Healthcare. Doctors are overloaded in this state. So bad they're making mistakes left and right, and nurses can't catch them all. I can go on and on for this. Does welfare need to exist? If it went away tomorrow, what would people do? What would people do? If we went to war tomorrow, if we had a natural disaster of astronomical proportions, what would people do if the checks stopped coming? They figure it out, right? I think people would step up to take care of the people that truly need it, the disabled, the kids, and the elderly. And I think everybody else would get their butts back to work or to work and figure it out. They'll figure out the daycare because they have to, right? But I think the topic at the kitchen table, because immigration's a hot topic right now, would cease to exist that migrants are abusing and using, riding a wave of financial benefit on the taxpayers and citizens of the state and of the country. That would go away because they wouldn't have that argument anymore. They can't say, oh, they're here just taking. No, that would stop, right? Because they're here working. They're here earning their way like generations before. We went 100 and some years without any welfare benefits. People figured it out. People counted on other people. So could we do it again? I think we need to be doing it different. And maybe going back to less is more. Another question. What happens if the benefits stopped? Would people migrate as often or as much as they do now? It's another question. So are there a lot of benefits and positives to reconsidering and thinking that maybe the benefits just need to go away? The benefits, and I mean specific social programs that just keep the cycle going. Where the money, the tax money, maybe we don't need to collect as much because more people will be working, generating probably as much, is going to true improvements for the quality of life. Job training, college, vocational schools, because we don't need everybody to be a lawyer. Agriculture, highest GDP in production here, and we don't feed who's here. Why? We have excess. Free farmers markets. Go pick up your fruit. Make sure our kids are eating. What more can you ask for, right? I think we can be doing it better. I hope I gave everybody some food for thought, and I hope I convinced you that I think we'll be better off without all of these government programs. Have a good night. This is Alyssa. Bye.